I'm just going to continue doing number 2. So, number 2, you have to write the polar form of the equation. And it's pretty easy because all you do is, like, substitute stuff, like, from, like, what we've learned previously, like, in 6-4. So, like, y equals, as we know, r sine theta. So, we substitute that. Well, this will be r sine theta. And as we know, x is r cosine theta. And then, like, as we know, 3 is just 3. We don't need to apply that with any stupid thing. And so, basically, we'll move, like, the r's so we can, like, do all that foolishness. So, it'll be, like, r sine theta minus r cosine theta equals, -3. Like that. And so now, like, as we know, when you write a polar form of an equation, you want it to equal r. So, like, so basically you're, like, distributing stupid stuff. I don't know what you call that language, but here you go. So, like, basically you have that, and it'll equal -3. And so r will equal, and so then obviously, like, you use division and stuff, and then you'll get -3 over sine theta minus cosine theta. Okay? That's how you do 2. Now let's move on to part B. Part B is a little bit more tricky, and I kind of, like, really don't want to do it because it will take me some time, and I don't really want to be explaining all that nonsense. But I don't know. This one, for 2B, I feel like you can figure it out. Basically, once again, like, what you do is, like, first, I'll just write out the steps. So, like, number 1, you'll, like, expand this out. And then 2, you'll, like, add like terms. And then you, like, substitute values like we did in 2A. And then, like, you'll, like, simplify and find r. Okay, so, like, that's how you do those. Okay. Now, 2C and 2D are pretty difficult. I don't understand why you haven't responded to my message, Jacob, but whatever. So, 2C is, like, 2C is not difficult, but it's difficult, let me be honest. So, like, you have to think about it. So, what we're going to use is, like, we're going to use the intercepts. So, like, as we see, it crosses through 2 intercepts. So, it crosses through 3, like, a radius of 3, 0, pi, and it crosses through 0, 3 pi over 2. So, like, basically, we kind of have to, like, we have to change it. We have to return it to, like, rectangular form, and then turn it back into polar form in order to find the polar form of the equation. It sounds pretty complex, but it's just a lot of algebra. So, like, you'll find 3, 0, pi. That's what that is. And 0, 3 pi over 2. So, I trust that you can, like, change this using, like, math and stuff. Like, but, you know, x equals r sine theta and all of that stuff. Like, I'm assuming you can do that. So, like, when you get that, your two things will be 3, 0. This is in rectangular form. This is 3, 0, and 0, -2. Okay. Yes. Like, I'm assuming you, like, know how to figure that out. So then, once you have this, basically, you're trying to find the equation of this line in rectangular form. So, like, I'm not gonna write out how to do this because I'm lazy. But first, you again, like, you know how to do this. Find slope to do y equals mx plus b and stuff. And then you take this, what you do, y into y equals mx plus b. So like whatever you get, which you will get, shoot, I can't see what I got. Damn it, I don't want to do this. You'll get something. Like, you'll get something. If that makes any sense. I just can't remember what I got. So like when you get this, basically you'll do what we did in 2A. Something like we did in 2A. You'll get something like this, but it won't be as pretty and clean, but like it'll serve its purpose. So like basically you substitute values and stuff and you'll get it in polar form. And basically that's how you'll get your answer, as you can see on my thing. Like when you look at the problem set online. 2D. This one also is kind of difficult. Once again, you're gonna find like different. You're gonna like locate the values that you can locate on the polar form. So like basically, what you're gonna do is, you have 0, 0, which is a concrete point, and that's obviously the same in rectangular form. And then this is the cool thing, when you look at this is the diameter of this circle. You find out is 5. So knowing that diameter is radius is basically radius times 2. When you divide 5 divided by 2, your radius becomes 2.5. That's your radius. It's pretty cool. And then I found this problem cool, as nerdy as that sounds. So basically, so like when you're when you're smart and stuff, just kidding. Like, you'll figure out that, like, even if like you don't exactly understand all the way how that, you'll understand it. It doesn't matter. So basically that means you find out your center is 0, 2.5, because it's basically the midpoint of 0, 0 and 0, 5. Figure that out on your own. So you have these two. Considering that this is your center, this problem becomes like way easy. So like then you'll find your circle equation in rectangular form. So x squared plus y minus 2.5 squared equals the radius squared, which is 6.25. And so basically, once again, you do what we did in B. Did in like 2B. And this problem, once again, becomes a heck of a lot simpler, and you can like do whatever. Look at that. So that's how you do the first page. I'm gonna do only up to 7 because that's what we had to do. Number 3 is really easy. I really don't feel like we need my help on this one. It's pretty simple. Number 4, again, like, you just put stuff in your calculator, and that's how you find your generalizations. And then part C, I know you're having trouble with this. I don't understand why you have trouble with this, but you do. So basically, like, we know that if you wanted to find a sine graph, so when you do what's on 4, you'll realize that, like, in order to reorientate it, like, in this way, it has to be a sine graph. So basically, like, the formula for that equation, if you want to call it that, is y equals a sine n theta. Like that. You know what I mean? And so basically what you're doing is, like, in this part, crap. I don't know how that happened. No. Oh, we're so perfect. You're substituting values, if that makes any sense. So, like, basically, you're, like, when you first find out, it tells you straight up that n equals 3. So, a sine 3 theta. And then it tells you, like, this, it already tells you that this is a right here. So then, like, you basically look at it and you're like, okay, this is like 2.3 to 2.5. And so you use whatever number that's in between there. Like, it's no mathematical thing. You're just looking at the, like, what you think the length of the line is using, like, the polar stuff. So that's how I got, like, my 2.3 sine 3 theta. And that's the answer to that one. Okay. Number 5 is like, I don't know. Number 5, I don't want to do it, but whatever. Okay, first of all, put this in your, first of all, before you do anything, like, read the problem and everything like that, and put this in your calculator. One second.